Welcome to the final installment of this three-part series on board Thunderchild 2, as we attempt to set 7 world records in 17 days. You join us at the Excelsior Hotel Marina in Malta as we get ready for our departure to set a new record from Malta to London. All the record attempts on board Thunderchild 2 are sanctioned by the UIM, and the vessel is propelled by 4 Caterpillar engines with surface-piercing propellers. We depart Malta at 0500 hours with a cruising speed of around 30 knots. As we burn fuel, the vessel gets lighter and the speeds start to increase. Our first fuel stop was on the west coast of Sardinia. We then set a heading to Mallorca. We are thrilled to announce that this video has been sponsored by Babbel. During our 4,000-mile journey, we have visited many countries and have worked with many different nationalities. So having some sort of understanding and being able to communicate in multiple languages has been critical to our success. Not being able to speak the local language can create confusion, make your life harder, and potentially delay your schedule. The great thing with Babbel and using the app is you can start learning a new language in as little as 3 weeks. All the lessons have been formulated and constructed by global language experts and teachers. Babbel teaches you practical language which may be used in multiple everyday circumstances and will help you whether you're traveling, working with multinational clients, or simply making a food order in a foreign country. And right now, you can get 60% off your subscription with a 20-day money-back guarantee by clicking my unique link in the description box below or pinned comment. Muchas gracias a Babbel por sponsor este video. We arrived to the second fuel stop in the middle of the night and an automated fuel pump. Our arrival was tricky as a number of the channel marker lights weren't working.
Do not forget to request your receipt following fill-up. You can start filling.
Just want to show you guys the luxurious toilets and shower facilities we have on board Thunderchild. This is where we shower. So essentially, we brush our teeth, we have a sink. This also becomes a shower, which you can technically hook onto here, but in order for the shower to work, you need to have that hold that down. So you might need a cable tie or something. We try and do all this kind of stuff like washing and brushing our teeth when we're stationary because it makes things a lot easier.
After we finished fueling, we continued on our route towards the Straits of Gibraltar. We started getting a bit of chop on the nose, which slowed down our progress. So we took the decision to follow the Spanish coast for calmer waters rather than go in a straight line to Gibraltar. With Gibraltar on the horizon, we all started getting excited because we knew that we had a food delivery once we arrived at our third fuel stop. The Gibraltar Straits is an extremely busy shipping area, and at high speeds we must proceed with extreme caution. But it never ceases to amaze me the amount of engineering and building ability that goes into these megaships. As we pass the iconic Europa Point, we leave the Mediterranean Sea and enter the Atlantic Ocean. We start getting lines and fenders prepared to come alongside the marina's fuel key. The great thing about fueling in Gibraltar is that the diesel is much less expensive than the rest of Europe. Alex and Max finished tying up the fenders and we are ready to come alongside to start bunkering fuel. After a quick fuel stop and a healthy McDonald's delivery, we were once again underway with Gibraltar in the backdrop and being spotted by the local pilots along the Spanish coast into Portugal. We continued through the night on a 3-hour rotation, and just after sunrise we reached Sines for our 4th fuel stop.
I'm just making sure that's the right way up.
Yeah.
At Sines, we were welcomed by some of the team, including George that had previously done major repairs on board, and Ron, who is a rep for the builder Safe Haven Marine. We were once again on our way. Now reaching speeds at over 40 knots, we continue our way up the Portuguese coast. With decent conditions and dolphin spotting, the morale was high, and the Thunderchild 2 team were in good spirits.
What it looks like cruising at 40 knots, drinking coffee, eating Oreos, entering the Bay of Biscay. That's how it's done, baby.
After leaving Portuguese waters, we once again entered Spain and set our heading to A Coruña for an evening fuel stop before crossing the infamous Bay of Biscay. We all managed to get a hot shower ashore at the marina's facilities and a proper meal delivery from one of the local restaurants. We were also boarded by the Guardia Civil to check our papers, but we knew that they just wanted to see the boat. They were great officers and they wished us well on the rest of our journey. We left A Coruña on our way across the Bay of Biscay. The conditions and the weather forecast couldn't have looked any better for the crossing. By the following morning, we were already around 2/3 across the Bay of Biscay and could start smelling the finish line in London. As the conditions were so calm, everybody got a well-needed sleep.
Right, current speed 35 knots. Coming down second gear.
Subject to the sea conditions and if it's safe to do so, once we've reached a certain level of fuel and weight, we can drop the engines into second gear, which increases the speed with only a minor increase in fuel consumption without an increase in the load. Around an hour later, disaster. Whilst cruising at 42 knots, the starboard inner propeller somehow fell off the prop shaft. With no signs of damage or leaks, we set a new heading to the closest port.
So somehow the propeller on the starboard inner engine has fallen off. As you guys see, people say, why need to run on 3 engines? We're still pushing 2,000 RPM and only doing 13 knots, whereas we were, in these conditions, we're doing 42, 43 knots. So the plan is to head, where are we? Into Roscoff here, get some fuel, and then take the boat to its home port. Where are we? In Jersey here, and retire the boat. Or well, lift the boat water repairs, but retire from at least this challenge from Malta to London. Alex, tell us about the last 15 hours.
15, okay.
What happened in the middle of the Bay of Biscay?
So, whilst I was asleep after I'd done the watch and just ended at 5 AM, I went to bed, nice, everything was going perfect. We're getting the boat up to about 32, 33 knots. She was running fine and it was nice and smooth. Then, after getting up, at about 12 o'clock, getting woken up, I get told that we've lost a propeller off the back of the boat. To which my immediate response was, what? I was thinking, you're having me on it, so one off the tender or something, it's fallen off, we're going to be in Guernsey. But no, what's it, starboard inner?
Yeah.
Our starboard inner prop has fallen off and now become part of the Bay of Biscay. So
part of the seabed in the Bay of Biscay.
So after trundling along at about 10 to 12 knots, we are now in Roscoff Marina, refueling after.
So for those that don't know, where's Roscoff?
In north of France, Brittany.
But tell what happened before we came here.
Yeah, so we started refueling at another marina.
35 miles away.
And then the pump decided to break, the diesel pump. Yeah. So whilst we're hoping just to do that one stop and get us back to Jersey, we've ended up having to stop at Roscoff to top her back up again because we only got a few hundred litres in before the pump decided that it wanted to take a break and not work again.
Well, I just come off watch and then obviously you took over. We were doing sort of 35, 36 knots quite happily. And we decided to put the second gear down and really took off up to about 40 knots, no problem. and then there was just a little bump almost.
Yeah.
Nothing, not a bump, no, not a bang or anything. Something happened. Not sure what it was. And you said, I think something's gone wrong. So we slowed down and put our head over the back of the boat, not expecting to see anything, as really is normal. And we didn't see anything.
That was the problem.
We were propeller missing. So it's one of those moments. Okay, what now?
Now,
Yeah.
so Nick, what's the plan now?
The plan now? I don't know, mate. I've lost my voice. So no sleep for 4.5 days. I think it's getting to us all, isn't it?
Yeah,
But it's been a hell of an adventure.
it has.
It has been
That's
a
what it's all
hell
about,
of
the
adventure.
adventure. Yeah, the experience.
And would we do it again? For hell, yes.
Absolutely.
Would we do it again tomorrow? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. It just thought, we're pushing the edge. I mean, trying to do what we did, which was 4,000 nautical miles, 7 world records in 14 days, is a bit of a big ask. Especially bearing in mind the crew that we have on this thing, the team. It's a big ask for normal people. But we nearly got there. One mechanical problem. The last one that we ever thought we'd get, which was a sheer propeller, but it's got us. And it's probably, the stresses and strains we put the boat and the team through are extraordinary. And I don't just say that for the words, it is true. When you bounce around the ocean, we went from Monaco around Corsica, Sardinia, back to Monaco to Malta, around Malta in less than an hour, Malta and Gozo around there in about an hour and 10 minutes. Then we left Tuesday at 5 a.m. We didn't plan to be here, but we'd have been in London by now. That's going some go, eh?
Yeah.
Going some go.
And Max, any final words for your experiences? Anything you want to share? Any do's or don'ts in life? Whatever you want to say, just say it.
What a crazy adventure. You couldn't write it.
No, you
could
couldn't.
not write it at all. From fuel pumps breaking to ending up in random places, you couldn't write it at all.
Right, chaps, so fast forward a few days, had some time to reflect on our challenge, the things we accomplished and the things that we wanted to accomplish but failed to do so due to the loss of the propeller. Now, I know a lot of you are going to ask, how has performance reduced so dramatically from the loss of one propeller when you have a total of 4? So it's just the way the boat's designed. You need those 4 props or 4 engines running correctly in order to reach those sort of speeds. It was a reduction like 70%, so we couldn't continue. Then obviously, because we lost that propeller, we started worrying about the other 3. And until the boat gets lifted out of the water and if an investigation is done, we don't really know the cause yet. Whether we hit something, whether it wasn't bolted on properly, whether it was just some sort of equipment failure, we're not sure. But the thing to take from this is we did achieve those 5 records. Although on video it might not show so, but it is quite a mental challenge, because at those speeds, running hour after hour, a lot of people would say, yes, there are boats faster. Yes, there are boats that go faster, but it's not about the top speed, it's about the endurance. Like the cigarette boats and those sort of boats won't handle the conditions that Thunderchild can handle. And when you hit some bad weather, it is just constant, up and down, and it's tiring on the body and on the mind. But with experience comes wisdom, and you learn I've learned over the years how to deal with it, especially fatigue. And I think we had a great team together, and we'll come back again as soon as it's all repaired. We don't have any repair schedule yet, and continue to do more records and raise more money for charity. The 2 days we did in Malta, we had the public come on board, see the boat, donate money to charity, and the winner got a competition about the time we did around Malta, and the winner got a cruise out on Thunderchild, which they really enjoyed. So yeah, we continue, guys, the Thunderchild 54 knots team challenges. Mortlock Yachts is delighted to be in partnership with such a fun, cool group of people and these challenges. I'm very thankful for it.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and really hope you did enjoy it. And yeah, looking forward to doing more videos like this. Guys, look forward to seeing you all next time, and have a good one. Ciao, ciao.